Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. This is Cambridge Physics 5054 course, and I'm your teacher, Mariam Rafiq. Today we're gonna discuss chapter number 3, that is forces. Balanced and unbalanced forces. Before knowing more about balanced and unbalanced forces, I would like to share some learning outcomes. Like, what is balanced force? What is unbalanced force? How these forces can affect change in motion? What is net force? And how do we calculate the net force? Now, dear students, you know that force is the push or pull on an object with mass that causes it to change velocity or to accelerate. And we know that force is represents as a vector quantity, which means that it has both magnitude and direction. Now, forces occur in pairs and can be either balanced or unbalanced. Today we are learning about balanced and unbalanced forces. So the balanced forces are the forces that are equal in size but opposite in direction. And you can identify balanced forces because they do not cause things to move. Let's look at the example. If we had a box on the floor and you try to push it from one side, but your friend push it from the other side, box will not move. And therefore, this would be a balanced force. Both you and your friend would be pushing equally hard. So your forces would have equal in size. But you would be pushing one way and your friend would be the opposite way. So you are pushing in opposite directions and these two forces can cancel out each other and we can call them balanced forces. While in contrast, the unbalanced forces are the forces that are not balanced. So for example, if you pushed a box from one side and your friend came to help you, you all are pushing in the same direction and it definitely will move. So this is an example of unbalanced forces. Here is another example. If you want to push this box, but your friend come to push from the other side, you're pushing from opposite direction. But we can see that your friend is much larger and he will be able to put down bigger force than you will. And because your forces are different in sizes, these are unbalanced forces. Balanced forces. Balanced forces do not cause a change in motion. For example, stationary or constant speed. And they are equal in size and opposite in direction. For example, you can see a man here standing and the forces on the persons are balanced. Means two forces are acting on the person. The first one is the floor pushes upward on the person and the second one is the gravity pulls downwards on the person. The next example is of a book lying on a table and here you can also see that there are two forces acting on it. Number one, the reaction force of the table. Number two, weight of book. And same is the case here with tug of war. Unbalanced forces. Unbalanced forces always cause a change in motion. They are not equal and opposite. And unbalanced forces can also be exerted in the same direction. Now these are the examples of unbalanced forces. Here you can see the movement of different objects like a rocket, and here again two forces are acting on it, like number one, the thrust of the rocket engine, number two, its weight downward. Now all these examples are of balanced and unbalanced forces and you can better understand from here. Now what is net force? Net force is the vector sum of forces acting on a particle or body. The net force is a single force that replaces the effect of the original forces on the particle's motion. Now students, two important things to remember when working with balanced and unbalanced forces. Number one, forces in the same direction combine by addition. For example, there are two forces acting on it, like 5 Newton on right side plus 10 Newton again on right side. So we're gonna add them and the resultant will be 15 Newtons on the right side. The second thing is the forces in opposite directions combine by subtraction. And here is the example. 4 Newton towards the left side and 10 Newtons towards the right side. And the resultant will be 6 Newtons to the right side. So students, this is time for assignment. And like a good student, please try to solve these questions. For each of the questions below, you have to identify whether the forces are balanced or unbalanced. Write the resultant forces and its direction. And the first two questions have been completed as an example. Thank you so much. Good luck.